Hello, welcome to my review of Sweet Home, a new horror monster series on Netflix from Korea. Um, this was not an easy show for me to review because the first episode was not compelling enough for me to want to continue, in all honesty. Um, but I'm glad that I stuck through it and it got better and better and better. I can tell you the first episode, even the second episodes, didn't wow me. And for sure, if you watch the first episode, this is going to be a non spoilers review. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything to spoil it for you, but the very first episode, the opening scenes is really the ending scene of season one. So keep that in mind. It's going to start out with a bang, and then it was confusing. Okay, it was not clear what's going on. But one thing for sure that I can say without spoiling it is this is a monster slash horror series. So if you like monster fighting monster, yes, this is not just a bunch of creatures or zombies that attack human. They fight each other, and they also fight the human. Okay, so it's banana, complete bananas. So the hardest thing about this series for me to deal with was a lot of the secondary characters. I think it's for sure cultural differences. Okay, so when it comes down to humor or how people behave and act, I might be Asian, but I definitely don't relate to a lot of the way or the manners that the people on the screen behave. I don't know how other people feel about that, but for me, that was a big part of my problem. Some of the characters were so annoying to deal with. Luckily, the annoying characters in this series are secondary supporting characters. They're not that important. So if you can overlook how annoying they can be at time, not always, at time, and focus on the key characters, okay? And as I'm talking, I will slide in the image of what are those characters. The key characters, the main characters in this series are very well done, very well acted. The action is a lot of fun to watch. The CGI is a lot of fun to watch. Um, the only time where uh, the monster look bad is I think when the practical effect came into play. For example, you can have a monster fighting, right? And then after the monster died and the human had to move the monster arm or body parts or the whole monster aside to get up, you can see that it is like a big blob of rubber or material that they use instead of the CGI monster. That was the only weak point of the special effect, is when the practical effect came into play. But overall, the monster design is really original, a lot of fun, a lot of bloods and gore, lots of it. Okay, so keep in mind, lots of bloods and gore, a lot of violent, um, and to my surprise, I really get attached to some of the characters. And that's a key part to enjoy a horror slash monster movie, is that if you don't like the characters, if I don't like the characters, would I care or root for them to win or survive? Of course not, right? So by the end, for sure, there is a handful of characters that I desperately want to survive and make it through. Okay, this is a season one. It's not over. Hopefully, the series is popular enough that we will get a season two. But for me, it is definitely worth a watch if you can get through the first two episodes or so, because things start to make more sense, and then you start to like the characters. I did. For me, it took me into the third episode to start to gravitate towards some of the characters, and by the end, um, I believe there was 10 episodes. By the end, There's a half dozen characters that I like a lot, that I find myself emotionally attached to them, and I want them to survive and make it through this mess. Anyhow, that's my review for Sweet Home. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.